Namaste and welcome to everybody. It's great to be here. Thank you very much for having me here to speak to you. And it's my great pleasure and honor to be here to start the thing. You already heard Lawrence. Well, before I start with, I should be a little formal. Your Excellencies, all the delegates from the different countries, eminent people from the different countries, eminent people from Nepal. I see very, very good people who have done things in Nepal and people who have been doing things all over. And of course, Lawrence, our founder chairman, and Sujeev, who've been working very, very hard to get this running and to set everything so that all of you are here and that we move on. I've been asked to say some things, but Lawrence already told you the outcome of the meetings that we've had. As Lawrence said, this is not a forum where you just talk, make resolutions, and then bring it out. But this is a forum where we all work together, find ideas, and put it together, and share it with others, so that we in the Himalayas, as Lawrence said, we in the Himalayas are countries, different countries, but as we are bound by the Himalayas. And in the Himalayas, there are problems. Of course, we have stark nature and other things here that we have to work with. But being together, all our countries, as Lawrence said, there's no conflict in human development. I don't think there's any conflict with any of us, because all of us want human development. We all want to see that the people in these areas, all in our areas, are well off and that they are able to earn and do things. As Lawrence said, the conflict arises when people do not have the means to make their means met every day. That causes problems to arise. If they have satisfaction, then I don't think we'll have problems anywhere. So with us, the Himalayan, the name itself, the Himalayan Consensus, we should be all together and work together. Doesn't matter about the different countries and the borders. We together have no borders. We people are not with borders. We are humans, we are people, and we should be together. There's no conflict about religion, because religion, I think, is just there to give us a guideline. I don't think any religion says, do this, harm others. No religion says that. And this religion is just giving you guidelines for a good way of living and making you a good person. So without any borders, any conflict, we should work. And I think this group here, not only from the Himalayas, but from other countries, Sweden is here, America is here, other countries around. I think there's somebody from Australia also here. So we have people from all over. But all of us are here to see that there is development among people and to see that people will work together and they have a better life. Now, regarding the Himalayan Consensus, you already heard from Lawrence. It's been a get-together, a session where we talk to each other and find out ways. And already, the first summit has made 4 different outcomes that have come. The first one about for the youth. Ryan has brought out the apps, which could be used by, that the youth now are so much savvy in IT, and this is necessary for all the youth. And if they can make new apps, this makes them able to earn. So that, Ryan, is, I think, a very good effort. That's number one. The other one we have is the bank from Sweden, who is now working on that to provide the SEB bank, which is doing this for the preservation. And I must say, that's another achievement. The other achievement, I think, is our museum work, which is the digitalization. All our countries around this region have wonderful things that have to be preserved and kept alive for the future generations. And how do you keep them alive? They are being destroyed, they are being harmed. We are losing so much of our heritage and so much of our absolutely treasures. So digitalization and keeping them and sharing them, that's one of the best things. And I must salute the Palace Museum from China, who's been doing the digitalization of the Dzogchen monastery in Tibet. I have to say, this is one of the outcomes also from last year's. And the other one, which is very, very important for our countries who are liable to earthquakes, and that is Peak Re, who have also made this insurance for earthquake-prone areas. So these four issues that have come out, outcomes that have come out from the last year's meeting has been pathfinders, pathways to do things. I must say congratulations to all those who did this. Sweden, US, Ryan, the Green Bond from Sweden, and the Peak Ray, as well as the museum. Now, I just turned to Nepal now. We've had a very bad disaster, 2015. And we are still reeling with that, the two major earthquakes, April and in May. And that has devastated a lot of places, a lot of lives. We've lost lives. We have lost thousands of heritage spots. There we need to rebuild. There we need to work. And this is not something that the governments can do, or just the people, but we need all together to work together and see that they come back. And it is so important because we have the heritage. It's the tangible heritage that you see and the intangible heritage that you cannot see, but which is affected by the tangible heritage. If you do not build, just for example, if you don't build a special one temple or a small little place in one street, that is where the intangible heritage has been going from that community there. But if that is not done, then we lose that intangible heritage because these people do not have that place where they can go and do and worship and have their different issues in the intangible heritage. So that is where we need to work right now in Nepal. Of course, as you know, the weather, the climate change, I think all of you can also feel right now, March, at this time, we should not be cold. But here, we're facing cold. In the day, it's warm, but in the evening and the morning, it goes down to 7. In the day, it's 20. So, climate change. That is what we need to fight with pollution. We all talk about pollution here, and we, especially here in Nepal, and especially in Kathmandu, we have dust pollution. And that, I have to say, we have to face it. We have to try and make it less. The dust pollution is because of the constructions that are going on. We have to do the constructions. We cannot do without that. But then when you're bringing down the buildings, you're putting in the dust out. And the roads, which needs to be redone, that also makes us full of pollution. And now we need to work on that. The other thing that I'd like to say, I see Sojeev already looking at me, that means my time is going. The other thing that I need to say to you is that to preserve your heritage, to do anything, you need income. You may ask somebody to build, like we have just now the big problem of rebuilding the houses that belong to private people with beautiful windows, etc. Now, they do not have the means to rebuild it as it used to be. We'll ask them to rebuild it in that style, with using the same old windows and doorways. They will not be able to. How will they sustain? What they will build is a cement block, which is more, there has a lot of earning there. They can earn with that. So we need to find ways of making them earn by using their old materials, their old style. If we do not have that, Kathmandu will lose its charm. We'll have cement blocks, which is like anywhere in the world. But the old houses, the look of the old carvings, the streets, and that where all the old festivals and things go, which makes it very interesting and which keeps the people and their traditions alive. We need to keep our heritage and our roots alive. Anyone, I think the most important thing is to keep our roots alive. We must know what our roots are, where we came from and what it was, and keep that alive. And to keep that alive, we need income, and how do you find it? So this is what we need to find, and find the solution so that these people also find that they can earn by having an old-looking house. Maybe inside you have the modern amenities, but the facades should still maintain the old. So these are things, as Sojeev said, you talked about our hotel, Dwarika's. Yes, it's a museum, and we would never have been able to build it and keep the pieces where it is now. It was being burnt, it was being cut, it was being thrown and destroyed. Now we have it there for our future generations to enjoy, and for anyone who visits to enjoy, to see the art that was alive in Nepal, and especially in the Kathmandu Valley. That was we were only able to do it by utilizing tourism. So these ways we have to find for sustainable development in every way, rebuilding, whatever. And I think that is my message, that we should find economically ways for the people to have an economic solution to do whatever they are doing. Maybe in the fields, maybe anywhere in the village area, we need to see that these people are earning. And that is for every country around us, especially in the villages, and especially being a woman, I have to say the women need encouragement, and they need to come up with this to be able to earn. They are working very hard. I think all over this region, our women work the hardest, but they are not recognized. And that, this is not a feminist talk, but I would like to say that we need all of your support. We need everyone's support to just keep that the work that they do at home. Who counts that? Economics don't count that. It's never counted in any country. All the work they do. If that same woman goes out and does that same work somewhere and earns, that is counted. But if she does all the work at home, nothing is counted. She's working in the fields, she's doing. So what we say is, please give an earning for that. I'm not saying that you pay the women. I'm saying just keep it and say that is an income for the country. That's an economical thing for the country. Please see that. This is not only in Nepal, I think it's everywhere, that the housework is never counted as an economical thing. So that's my appeal. And the other appeal is, please help people all around to see if they need to do the restoration, to keep the place alive, to make it economic. that they get an economic thing that they can work on so that it will be sustainable. And to all of you, I would like to say thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the interest and being here. And I'm sure this second summit will have great outcomes, but we are not going to make resolutions. Lawrence, I don't think we'll have resolutions and put it up there, but we will do outcomes, find solutions and share it so that we all can work. Different countries work on those outcomes so that we all prosper in the whole region, all the Himalayan region. Thank you.